All right, so the next thing that I'm going to be discussing has to do with my Arcturian soul and some things that I found out today about the situation and things that have been happening to me based on my soul being Arcturian and the body being human. Now, if you don't believe that my soul is Arcturian, if you don't believe that what I'm saying is true, you think I'm making up the whole Arcturian thing, then I suggest you just forget. No, don't even bother listening to this video, because it's not going to really, it's not, it's just a continuation of that. So if you don't believe that my soul is Arcturian, period, then you're not going to believe anything else that I'm about to say anyway. So it's not for you. It's really for me documenting what's happening. A, for the people that do believe that my soul is Arcturian, and two, for the authorities that what's happening is probably going to get me in trouble with a certain group of people. What I'm about to say, which then will there's going to be retaliation, and the retaliation might be something that might cost me my life. I don't know, and so I just want to make sure that the authorities and the police know about it. So in this whole process of me understanding what I am and me communicating, I've communicating with my spirit guides for a very long time, since at least 16 years, 17 years since Florida. But before then, not so much at a communication level, more of an intuition level. But I never really knew. But about 2.5 years ago, a woman did a special type of a healing on me that lifted this cap that was on my, I guess, cap on my consciousness, a cap on my ability to really understand fully what's going on and why I'm here, and that created a major download, and that's why I went into the direction that I did. And a big part of this is, of course, the fact that one second. The fact that my soul is Arcturian, and once I started realizing what I was communicating with was not just spirit guides, but also actually interdimensional beings from my dimension. And then later I found out that was only happening once in a while. Most of the time it was me being able to communicate with my Arcturian soul to the point of having an understanding of why I'm here, my purposes, right? So throughout this process, though, there's always been these other elements, these other voices that are coming in. That is strange to me, because I didn't, my knowledge is that only Arcturians and humans that have Arcturian souls are able to telepathically communicate with our home dimension and with our souls. This is something that, so when I hear voices, those voices should always be my Arcturian spirit guides and my Arcturian soul coming through. Problem is that throughout this whole process that there were other voices that have come in. Now, I was told at one point that there was some kind of machine that was created that allows humans to be able to communicate and then kind of mess with you. And that is true to some extent, but that wasn't really what was happening to me mostly. I was actually communicating with other Arcturian souls that are here. Now, you think, okay, Arcturian soul is here, right? He's supposed to be helping me, it's supposed to be helping me, right? Well, it was actually the opposite that's happening. They were confusing me and giving me other information, and trying to like get me off the path of what I was doing. The reason being is that there's a handful of Arcturians, souls down here, starseeds, but that know their souls aren't human, but don't believe in this whole thing about the civilization dying, and don't the human counterpart, the human body, kind of like superseded the Arcturian soul, and almost trapped the Arcturian soul into what would be a means to like right now. My Arcturian soul, me and him, her, whatever it is, me and it are in agreement it doesn't tell me to do something and then I don't agree to it. It's a mutual understanding, right? That I understand, and I believe because of the information in my own DNA. But with these other voices, they were literally telling me to do things, and I wasn't really agreeing, but they were like constantly doing stuff. And you know, why did my Arcturian? Why was I letting these voices in? Who are these? Well, they're Arcturians, and I'm able to communicate with other Arcturians telepathically. If they know what they are and they understand what they're doing, we communicate. The problem is that this group of Arcturians and different places that I was in, I guess this now it's happening here too, as well in Washington City, because there's Arcturians in here. You know, they're here, and you know they're doing the plant medicine that that's what they want to do, to be able to feel the Arcturian soul. But that's it. That's the extent of it. They're not part of this whole trying to save a civilization. They're not, because they've been kind of, this is what they're telling me, they've been taken by the same parasitic beings that have taken the wealth class and almost like entrapped their Arcturian souls and convinced these human bodies that they need to support that wealth class. They're getting monetary compensation. They're getting whatever they need. They're being, allowed through the whole system. Like, people in here, I see them doing things that they should be arrested for, and they never were. Why is that, man? So these Arcturian souls are trying to stop me from continuing. So it's almost like they're like a double agent, or a we call it a spy, or something. I mean that a traitor, what you call a traitor. They are working for the other side, trying to stop me from continuing what I'm doing. Now, if anybody's watching this and you know who you are, then that's why here you're probably one of the people that are telling me and giving me misinformation. This misinformation then provides them the ability to stop me from doing what I'm doing. They get rewarded by their parasitic hosts or slave masters, whatever you want to call them, and then my job becomes harder, and my purpose becomes harder. Now, throughout this whole process, I was also being told that my Arcturian soul or extended over to these spirit guides or these interdimensional beings that are from my home dimension. They're allowing these parasitic beings. They're allowing these other Arcturian souls, these other starseeds, to do what they're doing to me. Not because they want to, because they understand, but they explained to me after the fact that that's what they were doing. They were trying to stop you, and they explained to me, and then it's never really bumped me off my course. But they wanted them to think it was. So in other words, they were allowing them to do this so that they could gather the information and find out who they are and where they are, and have information and recordings and whatever else I need, and my data, and kind of stuff like this that will pinpoint who they are, and then so then they can be stopped, not just momentarily, but blocking them from infiltrating my communication, my ability to my telepathic ability. It's hard for me to explain this to you. I really don't understand. I'm hoping you understand the fact that we are telepathic creatures. Arcturians don't use voice. We don't need vocals. We don't need voice. We do everything through telepathy. When communicating, we use voices. We're also very musical, and we use sound to heal and to do the things we need to do, like the pyramids, right? Those blocks. They weren't lifted by slaves. They were lifted by sound. We've taught a lot of the human beings that we've helped. We provided them the ability to use sound correctly, to be able to levitate, to whatever they need to do. But only a handful of them. Only not everyone, because we cannot, because this is stuff that could be used and abused and could be, so it's actually just, again, a handful of people that we trusted this information with. But so that's the most of it. What I say vocally, I wouldn't have to say it as my Arcturian soul. We communicate telepathically mostly, to know which ones are actually trying to prevent the starseed activation and the salvation of this species was important. So of course it's like, oh, let them say what they want to say. Don't worry about it. We got them later. So now I'm doing this video because now we know who it is, and it's got to the point where we no longer need to have them believe that they're winning. They're doing what they need to do and report back to their slave masters that it's working. We got them not to do. And this is what I found a lot of times when I start doing things like the videos or making these activation sequences and the music that I've been doing and music that I've been, all these things that I've been doing are ways to activate starseeds. They come in and block any way they can. They'll come in, they'll argue, they'll say that I got punched in the face the other day by this guy that he was or he was being controlled by people. He was being controlled by these parasites, or excuse me, they were controlled by the Arcturian souls, and I could name names right now, but did you want me to? No, it's known. The people that I've named before, the people that have basically been stopping me from doing this, and how they stop me by getting me arrested, by occupying my time, getting punched in the face, getting robbed, getting my jaw broken, being sent places, lured into conversation and wasting the entire night, and now I'm all upset and I can't focus on things that I'm doing. All these things were products of them trying to stop me, and it's been happening since I've been out here. I mean, it's happening for different times, but now I understand why, and this is why I'm putting it on video, because they needed me to finally understand why. And I needed to act like I was actually, being able to be I had to act like they were able to control what I was doing. So then they have a sense of like, oh, well, see, it's working. So they didn't try different things. You know what I say? If it's working, let's just keep this going. And, of course I was like, oh, no. And everything but inside my own mind, I was like, what the hell is going on? Why is this? And then my true Arcturian soul, or the true spirit guides would come in and say, don't worry about it. It happened this way for this reason. That's why a lot of times I got arrested. A lot of things that have been happening to me the last 2 years. My jaw broken, I strangled. All these things were products of that. People that did these things were either the renegade Arcturian souls, or the people that they've taken, they give them stuff to, give them something and pay them something to go do this to me, and that'll waste my time. And it's happened a lot. And so in other words, a lot of time has been wasted, but still not only to the point where it's not going to throw me off course for what I need to do. Because my Arcturian soul would have stopped them at that point. And they've stopped and said, okay, no, you're not going to hear this for a while. But we want you to make believe that you don't know what's going on. And I did know until today, when I was kind of told about this. Now I understand clearly now. Before I didn't understand really. It's like, wow, there's a machine. How are they communicate with me? How do these people get into my head and talk just like my spirit guides do? But I know it's not them, because number one, my spirit guides, I communicate with without saying anything. Right now I'm saying it, but if I want to talk to I would ask, spirit guide, are you there? But I wouldn't say it verbally. I would say these renegade Arcturians are not able to do the same thing. They're not able to. In other words, if they say something to me, I have to say it verbally. If I just say it within my own mind, they can't pick it up, because they're really not using everything that they need to. They're using this little ability that was given to them by Arcturian soul before Arcturian soul was like stuck in a cage somewhere now, being fed off of by parasites. That's what their soul is doing now. and they're not able to do communicate. So that's how I've known, like, okay, so if I say something to my spirit guide, right? If I say it verbally, right, and they answer, okay, could be my spirit guide, but then it could also be them that are using this telepathic ability to mess with me. If I say it verbally, but then I say it within my own mind, and they don't respond, I know it's not my spirit guides. I know it's this other entity, which I thought it was just people using a machine or something to be able to get, but it's not that. It's actual renegade Arcturian souls. So and so that's, I needed to get that on video. Again, I hope if you don't believe that I'm Arcturian, I hope you didn't watch this whole thing and just go like, oh no, he's even more crazy. What do you think? So I mean, please, just, you shouldn't even want to bother watching. But if you believe what I'm saying, and it's true, it is a very tricky situation. It's not Star Wars, like, so there's no wars out there, but there are groups of beings from other dimensions that want to either destroy and control the civilization, or B, want to help it evolve. The Arcturians, Pleiadians, we're part of those groups that want to help evolve. The difference between the Arcturians and the Pleiadians are very hands off. They wait to see what happens, and then at that level, then they'll come in. But the Arcturians, we've been gifted and asked by your Creator to come in and actually help. So the more helping has always been, and that's why we're musical creatures. That's why I was playing music since I was at the age of 14. You know, I got into the sound healing work after I got embraced from them to recover from it, and then I created a practice from it. The sound has always been something very important to me, and now I understand why. Because it is, and then that sound dates back to centuries, thousands of years that we've helped civilizations evolve, and also build certain structures that needed to be built to be able to create that grid around the planet, to be able to help any way it could to save the planet, and that's what, all the pyramid structures, all these sacred places that were created with the help of us. So that's kind of it, right? Yeah, that's all they want me to say. And I want me to put it on video because now I'm putting it on YouTube, and then this is actually my kickoff something for them. The other ones that are actually, oh shit, now they got to get rid of me. So if they do that, then whatever. They've already told me what's going to happen. I'm not going to say it here because I don't want them to know. But so I'm pretty aware, and I understand a lot more about what's going on now because of it. And the thing of it is, I've been kind of like I've been told only what I need to be told at certain stages of my life, because we needed to, for the ones that are become a problem, these whatever is blocking me, what's trying to stop me, we need to be able to flush them out and make them understand that what they're doing is it's working. Let them think that, and then bring them to a certain level where then we can stop them. Because if I would have stopped them initially and just blocked them, they would have kept on trying to find different ways to do it, and they might have eventually got a way that we wouldn't be able. But now it's coming down to the wire. As that's why they tell me all this right now. It's coming down to the wire. So either this goes good for you guys, or it goes bad. And then as for the Arcturian souls, they don't believe at this point. They're if it's nothing, if your civilization doesn't work, it doesn't get past the 2025 energy conversion and upgrade to this planet. If it doesn't go there, these Arcturian souls, they will not go back to Arcturus. These are renegades, and they're renegades to the point where they're going to be dropped back down to the same pool of creation as a human soul. So they're right now, because of what they've done. So that's why we need to kind of like know which ones and who know. They knew, but there's other ways that I need to know, and other people need to know here at certain levels, but they're not going to be brought back to. And like I know for sure if this works and I save your civilization, I'm going to stay for as long as I can. Then afterwards I go back to Arcturus, and when I die. If it doesn't, then the end comes, and then I still go back to Arcturus. They don't. They get either dropped back down to creation, or if it is such a misguided and such a damaged Arcturian soul, then it's going to be just taken away. So for all you guys that are out there thinking, hey, we got him, man, yeah, watching this, don't think at the end of this you're gonna get, you're gonna let you back into where you what you betrayed and what you try to stop. You're not. And if it works and the simulation survives, then you're going to be pulled out of here, because the last thing we need is more parasites to take advantage of these humans, as opposed to beings that and interdimensional beings that are asked and requested to help. That's our purpose right now. Help your creator make sure that the civilizations that he/she creates stay on the proper the proper timeline and evolve right. It's just the human ones, the human he creates. There's been a bunch of you guys, and the humans. He puts this monetary system, and he puts this thing that really that you guys cannot overcome, and you still haven't gone to overcome it. And hopefully you'll overcome it this time. If you don't, maybe he'll try again. I'm not sure if he's gonna try again. I don't even want to know, because this is the last time for me. I'm not coming back down. No. You try to get somebody else, because this is the last time I'm coming back down. This has been literally the worst. This is what I'm feeling now and seeing now from my Arcturian soul. It's coming out. Wow, man. I've seen a lot, but what I'm seeing right now is the worst. So why the creator is trying to create a better version of you to be able to overcome this. There's also a worse version of the virus that is trying to destroy you. That's it. You don't believe anything I just said? I didn't just make this shit up, bro. I swear to God, there's no reason. Where would I get this shit from, bro? Honestly, where would I get what I just said from, other than a complete download from at this point, because this is the point that I needed to be able to have this information to get it out, right? Namaste. Om Hara, Om Mara, Om Hari Om, Hari Om, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Let's hope Shiva comes down to mass ascend instead of the other thing, because even he doesn't like doing that. He's done it so many times, he doesn't like doing that. But he's, the bad stuff. God of destruction and creation. He wants creation is the mass ascending. Destruction is only when necessary. Don't make it necessary for him again. None of us want to see this happen again. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. December 21st, 2025. It's actually somebody confirmed that it is going to start on the January 1st, 2025, but it's going to build up to December 21st, 2025. So you got less than 2 years. It's changing now before it's too late. Namaste.